So you're thinking about buying a home in BC. That's amazing. But that sticker price you see online, that's really just the beginning. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at all the hidden fees and surprising costs you're actually going to face.
Look, saving up that down payment is a huge accomplishment, for sure, but it's not the only big check you're going to have to write. In this explainer, we're going to walk through more than a dozen other expenses so you can go into this whole process with your eyes wide open.
Okay, so your offer got accepted. Awesome. But guess what? The moment that happens, the financial meter starts running. Let's break down the very first cost you'll have to deal with way before you even get the keys.
Right off the bat, you're looking at 3 key expenses: getting an inspection, paying your deposit, and getting an appraisal. Each one is an absolutely critical step to making that home yours.
First up, the home inspection. And seriously, this is non-negotiable. Think of it as a health check for the house. It's going to cost you somewhere between $400 and $800, and you pay that directly to the inspector on the day. Trust me, it is a small price for the peace of mind you get.
Next up, the deposit. This is usually about 5% of the purchase price. Now, this one trips people up, so listen close. This is not an extra cost. It's actually the first chunk of your down payment. It just shows the seller that you're serious.
And finally, for this first round, we have the property appraisal. Your lender, the bank, they need a professional to come in and confirm the home is actually worth what you're paying. This will run you about $300 to $450. But hey, here's a little pro tip for you. Ask your mortgage broker if they'll cover this fee. Sometimes they do.
Phew, okay, you made it past those first hurdles. Now, let's get into the closing costs. This is where a whole bunch of fees all come together and are due on the same day. And honestly, this is where a lot of buyers get caught off guard. So here's a little preview of what's coming. You've got the rest of your down payment, of course, legal fees, some adjustments for taxes and utilities, insurance. Oh, and if you're buying a condo, you'll have strata fees on that list. If it's a new build, you might even have GST. I know, it looks like a lot, but don't worry, it's all organized for you.
See, all these costs get laid out for you in one super important document called the Statement of Adjustments. Your lawyer or notary prepares this, and it's basically the final bill for your new home, breaking down every single dollar.
On that statement, you'll see 2 main columns: debits and credits. Debits are simple. That's money you owe. Credits are a little different. That's money you owe back to the seller for things they've already paid for, like property taxes for the rest of the year. Your lawyer figures it all out, right down to the penny. Now, one of the biggest debit lines you're going to see on that statement: legal fees. These can run anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500. So, another little tip: get a quote from your lawyer up front. That way, there are no surprises on closing day.
We have covered a lot of ground, but now it is time for the big one, the property transfer tax. I'm telling you, this is the single expense that surprises more home buyers than any other.
And don't just take my word for it. The source material we're looking at makes it crystal clear. The property transfer tax, or PTT, is one of your absolute biggest costs. It can be a major hit to your wallet if you're not ready for it. So let's break it down.
So what the heck is it?
Well, simply put, it's a tax the provincial government in BC charges every single time a property is sold. It's calculated in tiers based on the home's value, which basically means the more expensive the home, the higher the tax. But here's the good news. There are exemptions that can save you a ton of money. If you're a first-time home buyer, you might be exempt on homes up to $835,000. And for newly built homes, that threshold jumps way up to $1.1 million. It is absolutely worth checking to see if you qualify for this.
All right, you did it. The deal is closed. The keys are in your hand. Congratulations. But hold on, the spending isn't quite over yet. Now we need to talk about the costs of actually moving in and getting your new place set up.
This is where the real fun begins, right? But it all costs money. You've got to budget for the move itself, for changing the locks, do that right away, and for any new furniture you need. And don't forget about utility hookup fees or any immediate repairs. That last one can be a real wild card. So having a just-in-case fund is a very, very smart move.
And hey, when it comes to the actual move, you've pretty much got 2 options. You can hire professionals, which will cost you $1,000 or more, or you can rally your friends and pay them in the time-honored currency of pizza and beer. Your call.
And just one last thing to keep in mind. Homeownership is a long-term game. Beyond all these one-time costs, you have to be ready for the ongoing expenses, like your annual property taxes, monthly strata fees if you're in a condo, and of course, home insurance.
So we've covered a ton, from the inspection all the way to that big property transfer tax. A really good rule of thumb is to budget an extra 3 to 4% of the home's purchase price for all these closing and move-in costs. So, with that in mind, the real question is your budget really ready for the journey ahead?